Hey everyone, Irit here with another process video for HipKit Club, and today I'm up on the blog and my theme is to use pink and yellow, which might shock you, wasn't a big challenge for me at all because those are, along with, mint and turquoise, those are my favorite colors. So yeah, the themes are quite they go with my style. So I started with my papers. I didn't have a design concept in mind. I thought I would just go through the embellishments and maybe the papers and divide them into a pile of yellow and a pile of pink. I'm all about the color, and I love, doing kind of layering with tone on tones and all those things. It's one of my go-to techniques and looks that I do. So I thought I would just start and with seeing what I actually have to work with from these colors. Obviously the papers have some good patterns, but I don't know, I like layering pattern papers, but I really love layering embellishments. So here I am just sifting through all the embellishments from the kit, and I spared you the whole process of that. So that's where we are. Now I also decided to use those two of the 4 adorable frames from Crate Paper that came in one of the kits, and one has these yellow pom-poms and then the other one has pink pom-poms. So I'm using 2 photos. They're both kind of indoor, mobile phone, grainy photos of my girls. And so I was completely okay with printing them in a small size, and I changed the colors to black and white because, the colors were just, our living room is kind of, the wooden floors, and it sounds more romantic than it is, but they're kind of this kind of yellowish brown that, I don't know, I don't like that so much in photos, and especially when I, use my signature colors. Wow, I'm using, too much. I'll try and stop. And I'm using lots of pinks and yellows and turquoises. I'm not always a huge fan of brown yellow photos. So I'm totally happy with turning them to black and white ones, and I do that in Photoshop Elements. And so then I thought, okay, let's see if I can make these, I don't know, kind of like a blocky design, use this, the stripy pattern paper. I love, this is one of my favorite papers from the December kits, after my papers. I'm still working with the December kits because my January kits are stuck somewhere. I don't know, they've been the tracking system hasn't moved in 10 days. So I don't know when they are. I don't know when they'll get to me, but the December kits are gorgeous and definitely one of my favorites in the last couple of years. And so I'm totally okay with keeping on playing with them. That's cool with me. So I used this stripy paper from Crate Paper, Good Vibes, and I'm not keeping it, it's not very accurate, but I did decide to go for my take on a grid design. And I added the stitching. I think it just makes those pattern papers seem more intentional and not just, 2 pieces of pattern paper stuck on the on another piece of paper. I thought about outlining them, but I didn't know how many layers I will have, and I don't know, I wasn't sure, but that would be another great idea to make it look a little bit more finished. Now that I'm looking at it, I kind of wish I had placed the photo on the right side. I think the pink one on the right side, I think it looked a bit more balanced. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't do that. But I will, in the end, the finished layout I find has a good balance to it. So you'll see how this comes together. That kind of paint chip looking piece of ephemera is one of my favorites, and no layout is good enough for it, which is completely ridiculous, I know, but it doesn't make it to this layout. So now I'm just playing with the embellishments, and I'm going to title this Best Friends. They're not best friends. I'm going to add that in the journaling. Well, first of all, Lily is only 2, so yeah, she's really, really small. But also, some of the time, they get along amazingly well, and they play together, and they're just the cutest things. And then other times, they drive each other nuts. Mostly because Lily wants to do certain things, and she doesn't give up, and Ella doesn't want to do what she wants to do because it's childish, and she has better things to do. So yeah, but I do hope that they will be best friends when they grow up, and until then, we will try to find, try not to drive each other totally crazy. But they have a lot of really, really sweet, beautiful moments together. And I say I wanted to document it, and the photos do document a couple of those moments, but the journaling doesn't really, but that's okay. So I have a lot of, photos of them together in my albums, and I also talk about the good stuff. So I'm layering some stuff behind my photo. I really liked this Project Life card with some yellow and black and white. Of course, I'm going to use pops of black and white because I love that. I do that almost on everything, on every layout, and also in my art journal, actually. And Kimberly includes, I think in every kit, black and white patterns, which I don't think she used to do that, or maybe, unintentionally she didn't do that, or maybe unintentionally she's doing it now. But I think in the last year or something, every kit has had also black and white patterns, and I love that. Even though as I was creating this layout, I actually thought that, black and white patterns are probably one of the easiest things to create ourselves. Any stamp set in black and a piece of white cardstock, you can make your own pattern paper with black and white. You can grab a pen or a marker and make circles or lines or dots and make your own black and white pattern paper. So if you don't have any in your stash and you want to use them, you can totally make your own. Just be creative and think about it. What am I doing? I'm trying to fit all kinds of bits and pieces, and sometimes I'm being really insistent and it doesn't really work. What can I tell you more? I think this layout is pretty self-explanatory. It didn't take this long. It's, I think, sped up 2.5 times, so probably took me no more than 40 minutes, which is good, even though, it's not a very complex layout and it doesn't have like any mixed media that needs to dry or anything. So I was moving things around a lot, but it came together pretty fast. And once I had the main elements down, soon I'm going to get to that part. It was really fun to just add little bits and pieces here and there, and the end result, I think, is quite simple in a way, at least for me. It has a lot of layering, it has a lot of embellishments, but there's a lot of white space, so all the layered areas are very, very concentrated. They're not, spread over all over the layout, and I like that. So the final result is relatively clean. But yeah, really fun. It was a lot of fun to make it. So I just I want to tell you a few things. If you don't know, I have a Facebook group with Tanya Hubbard, and we just chat about all things crafty, and we've been talking about all kinds of creativation stuff, the new collections and new products and all that stuff. And one member of the forum commented that she really doesn't like it when people talk. Ooh, I was so happy about this part. Sorry. I used my tab punch to punch out this tab from this Project Life card. I think that was probably the thing that made me most happy in this layout, because I love how it looks. So tab punches are great. Anyway, one of the members in our group said that she really prefers music when she watches scrapbooking process videos, and she wished that people didn't talk so much. And like me, she didn't say me. No, she was, she was kind about it. She didn't say like these idiot people talking on YouTube. But yeah, she just said she prefers music, and she did say that sometimes she feels like she's watching a long commercial when people mention, the products or something like that. So to my, I was happy to read that most of the people who commented actually preferred the talking. And also, a lot of people made, including myself, we made a good point that if you don't like the narration, you can just mute us. Obviously, I would be like really, really insulted if you did that. But if you muted me, you wouldn't know. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't know either. I make these videos because, first of all, it's fun for me. And people watch them, and people enjoy them, and people feel inspired. Hopefully, that's my main goal. I mean, at the beginning, it was kind of like to share. I started YouTubing in 2014, I think. I think it was 14 or 15. I want to say 14. And I think my motivation was that I wanted more to be a part of this community, because, I was a little bit on the 2 peas in a bucket message board, not a lot. And where else were we chatting? Yeah, maybe on Studio Calico or something like that. But then I discovered Mercy Tiara, Tracy, the wonderful, wonderful Tracy, and Nicole Jones 911. And I just felt like I want to be more a part of this. This is fantastic. I love this. I love watching these videos, and hopefully, I can give that same joy to other people when they watch me make my layouts. So that's why I started. And then I'm just so happy when people say they feel inspired. I really try to, show you everything that I'm doing, and in time improve my equipment and setup and lighting and sound and all these things. It's also, of course, it's always fun for me. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't fun for me. But I also strive to make it, a great experience for the people watching. So I always get great feedback, and yeah, it changed my life. Seriously. I know it's like dramatic, but being in this community, doing YouTube, and then eventually also offering courses and Patreon and all that stuff, I wouldn't be able to do that without you and without the support of this, community, again, that word. So yeah, but the point was that, to each their own, and everyone likes something else. Some people like longer videos, some people like shorter videos, some people want to be talked through every decision making, and then others say, we get what you're doing, we watch it, you can talk about other stuff. So I try to mix it up. It's also not something that I plan. It's something like when the video starts, if I feel I have something to say about the layout, then I say it, and if I don't, then I just start talking about other stuff. But yeah, here I am, you can see, being very indecisive about which background I want. And I kind of felt like, okay, I want black and white. And then I also decided it would be, it would look better if I attached my layout to one corner, and then the background paper would only show on the bottom and left side. It just felt a bit more balanced that way. Obviously, you can gut the 12 by 12 paper. You don't need to use all of it. I didn't. Not sure why. I should have, because I really like the paper that I used, but I have lots of paper, so I think I can manage. And yeah, another thing that I wanted to say is I think, I'm just saying it, I'm not like advertising myself. I mean, I am, but just in case you don't miss out if this is something you're interested in, I'm thinking of doing a series on Patreon where I do like at least one scrapbooking video a month that is more personal. So a lot of these things I don't feel comfortable sharing on YouTube because, I get a lot of just like random people, and it's not, I don't feel comfortable with it personally. I think I'm from the older generation. I didn't grow up with the internet and social media and all that stuff, and it doesn't feel natural to me to share a lot of private stuff. So I am thinking I will do kind of a dig deeper series on my Patreon. Because I do want certain things to be in my scrapbook, and I don't think I want to put them on YouTube. So yeah, I think I will do that. If that's something you're interested, then check out my Patreon, of course, and I would really appreciate if you came over there. I offer exclusive content, and I'll shut my mouth now about my Patreon. So this is my finished layout. Of course, I added some stitching. I hope you feel inspired. This is a really easy design that you can customize to your taste. Have a lovely day. Bye.